Hey Internet, Eric here. Welcome to day 3 of Shocktober. 13 horror movies, 13 videos, 13 days from the 19th through the 31st. I said I'm going to dive headfirst into the Howling sequels. It's, it's been a very interesting ride. I'm not a fan of roller coasters, and right now with part 2, we were going up that track. Part 3, we went down, and now we're discussing the one that got us around the loop-de-loop, but right now we're stuck upside down, and I'm about ready to just unhook the seatbelt and let it all end. Today, Howling 4, 1988, it's the Howling 4, you can't really shoot the original Nightmare. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Okay, like I said, 1988 is when this came out. The basic plot of this is now it's another original concept, I guess you would say. We're following an author, a female author, and she is having random visions. And she, because that's how she writes her book. She has visions during the days, and it causes her to write down the stories, and she's been a successful author. Well, she has a vision where she sees a werewolf in a fire, like the head, and it attacks her. She has a mental breakdown, and eventually she and her lover, I don't know if it's a husband or boyfriend, they go on a weekend getaway. And of course, that weekend getaway is a cabin in the woods, and she finds out there's werewolves. That's the basic plot. Ooh. Okay, first off, the acting. I can't really give a good assessment on how bad the acting is because this movie is nothing but ADR. Everything has been voiced over, dubbed. And the thing, I wanted to make sure that, because I watched this on Tubi, and sometimes Tubi's uploads aren't the best quality. They might get it from like a VHS rip, DVD rip, what have you. So I went on IMDb, and I found out that the budget was so low that they had to film in silence, and everybody had to come back in and dub their lines. And it fucking shows. It's like watching, honestly, one of those Godzilla movies, everybody parodies where, people are talking, but then when it's English, it doesn't sync up. That shows here. It really takes you out. It really gets you to roll your eyes, and it doesn't help with the acting. Like there's the one lady is fine, I guess. You got two men in here, and they're really talking like this, and I'm talking like this, and I'm talking like. It doesn't sync up. If that's how the real actors sound, you fucking suck. So we're gonna get the acting out of the way. It's trash mainly because of the ADR. But if that's how they really acted, fuck them. Uh, okay. There's a side plot where we have a former nun coming to town. She meets the author because one of her sisters, nuns, was found in this town babbling something, and she went to an insane asylum or some bullshit. It doesn't matter. So this lady is helping find out what happened to this nun, and you find out that the woman, the nun, knew that there were werewolves in the town. Totally unnecessary. I don't know why they needed to add this character as being a nun. They might have explained it, but I had already checked out at this point. The gore, um, not bad, air quotes, because I think it was Steve Johnson. You know who Steve Johnson is? He's well known in around the 80s for practical effects. He was married to Linnea Quigley. I know about him from the Horror Hall of Fame. Shout out to parts 1 and 2. We have a really good gash when someone is bit right here. The boyfriend, I guess you would say, the author, he's attacked. That looks really good. The transformation scene is hit and miss, and I'll say why, but it's probably the most original transformation scene I've ever fucking seen. And then we get a couple dead bodies, with blood on their bodies. It's okay. Um, one thing I really hate. One thing I really hate is the character of the boyfriend, and they spend this weekend getaway. He's such an unlikable asshole, like really bad. He's there to help his girlfriend who's having all these visions, and she just had a mental breakdown, and he's off trying to fuck this one mysterious lady who owns one of the stores. He bangs her, and it's funny because, you have them, they got to have sex. She's got to, howl at the moon. Um, And he's just so unlikable because when she's going through her troubles, all he wants to do is go fuck this random stranger. So I don't like him. He's such an asshole. Um, he does eventually. He gets bit by the girl. You know, the one the side chick. And we'll talk about his transformation now. His transformation is one of the weirdest transformations to a werewolf that I've ever seen. He's walking through the woods, and like I said, he's all chewed up here. It looks good. As he's walking through the woods, we have all these other werewolves pop up, and they look like shit. Like if you thought that the Reverend in Silver Bullet looked bad, like you're disappointed in seeing that he just looks like a fucking grizzly bear or black bear. These guys are awful. They're literally their hair is just poofed up. They have fangs, a little bit of a snout, and they're literally just going rawr. You know what I mean, to the camera. You know, like a little kid would go, like if you're scaring somebody like that. But he's walking, and suddenly it looks like he shit his pants because it focuses on all this liquid by his legs. His skin starts melting, so his head is starting to melt, and it looks like someone just took like a strawberry milkshake and poured it on his head, and he's melting. His flesh melts off his bones. Looks okay, I guess, for that. And then he falls down into this puddle of goo or muck. He's in the forest, so I'm assuming it's mud, but it's mixed with all the goo from his body, so it looks like he's in a puddle of snot. And you hear the werewolves that are watching him. They're chanting, "Do it for the devil," or "Hail Satan," or some stupid bullshit. Because, again, we gotta have Satan involved. You know, we've had werewolves in the first one. Then they became vampires. Then they became kangaroo, marsupial fucking animal things. And then now, let's just involve Satan. Don't worry, there's something else in this movie that we're going to talk about. So suddenly, the skeleton arm climbs up, and we start to get hair on it. So he's turning into a werewolf. And it's taken a long time. Well, why? Well, this is the only transformation scene we've seen before, but does that mean that every single person, when they turn into a werewolf, their flesh has to melt off? This scene took forever, dude. It was literally probably like 3 or 4 minutes, and this isn't like an American Werewolf in London, where it's fantastic special effects. You can feel the actors. I think his name is David. The character's name, I don't remember. Feel the pain, this and that. This is just garbage, and it's going on for a long, long time. So does that mean when the werewolf is done being a werewolf, his flesh melts off and he turns into a human? Long and tedious. The other werewolves, like I said, it's just Halloween mask, brr, type of stuff, except for the doctor. There's a doctor character who is a werewolf, and he is trying to convince this author that everything she's seen, because she's having dreams, she's seeing fucking ghosts of the previous people that have lived in the cabin, seeing the ghost, you know, the ghosts are flipping things over, and she communicating with them. It's fucking stupid. The doctor is in on it because, you know, he's a werewolf, trying to convince her that everything she's seen is bullshit. There's a final confrontation between the author, the former nun, and the doctor, and he's in this gigantic circle of candles, and he's talking to a werewolf god or whatever. He turns around, and he is just this weird. It's gonna be the thumbnail of this video. This weird, awful, garbage pail kid, Pee-wee's Playhouse type weird wolf dude creature looking thing. I literally yelled "what the fuck" and started laughing. So stupid. Tries to rip his face off as, you know, he's ripping off the human skin so he doesn't melt. Don't get that. The final confrontation, the doctor and all the werewolves are going to come and attack these two women. They use dogs. All they did was use like literal German shepherds in the shadows and made their eyes glow. And it's so fucking dumb. It's so bad. How do they decide they have to kill all the werewolves? It's not silver bullets. It's not a silver stake like they fucking used on What's-Her-Face in part 2. They have to get all the werewolves into the church, ring the church bell so all the werewolves will come in there, and then set the fucking thing on fire. I don't get it. It has a definite straight-to-video quality. It felt like it was like a Lifetime movie. because there isn't a lot of werewolf action. It's more about this woman having a mental crisis and her relationship with her fucking lover. It's so bad. It's so boring. It's more interesting than the previous two, but I think that's just because I'm looking to see where this is going to go with the weird fucking ghosts and visions and weird looking werewolves and the voice dubbing. It's still garbage, but it's one of those like I can't turn my head away. The final scene is so fucking dumb. She walks into the church after everyone and everything has been blown up, sees the dead body of her lover, and she keeps saying his name over and over and over again. Suddenly, cuts to the flame, werewolf head pops out like we saw in the beginning, and it just freeze frames to her screaming into the camera. That's how it ends. So it's another eye-rolling moment. Anything else worth note? No. Awful. Howling 4. The original Nightmare. This is supposedly based off the first book. Like, all of them have been based off the novels. There's like 3 of them. This is supposedly the one that's the closest to the original novel. I would not want to fucking spend any money reading that, because it takes longer to read a book than watch a movie. So it's like 90 minutes. Boring. The dubbing, the looks of the werewolves, the ghost idea, the nun. The transformation scene was so fucking weird. I'm out. If you like schlock, this is for you. I like schlock too, but I don't know if my tastes are changing lately, but I can't do this one. And I got so many more Howling movies to do. I think there's 8. I need a break. So, Shocktober is going to be changed. That's for sure. I cannot binge watch any more Howling films. If I've had to rank them so far, I don't know. I'm 4 for 4. Haven't liked them. That's it. I'm done. That's it. Thank you for... I do not recommend 1988's Howling for the beginning, and I'm not surprised. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Have you seen this one? Am I over-exaggerating? Am I not? What are your thoughts? No idea what I'm doing next for Shocktober, since I'm done with the Howling for now. I'll get to the rest of them eventually. But as of right now, I don't know what I'm talking about. So like and subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. All the new subs. Appreciate you. Cheers. Fuck this movie. God damn. Fuck this franchise. Stupid.